So now I'm going to be talking about rounding numbers, and this is page 32 of your notebook. So we got to be very careful here because we have special rules about rounding numbers. So first thing you have to do is find the first discarded digit. And how you have to do this is by reading the question. They're going to be asking to round to 1 decimal, 2 decimals, 3 decimal places, and so on. So it's going to be given in the question. So if the first discarded digit is less than 5, what you're going to have to do is keep the last significant digit unchanged. So you do not change the last digit that you keep. Like in this example, we have to round to the unit. So the unit is 8. So I'm going to keep those two significant digits. I'm going to look at the first discarded digit. It's going to be 4. So I have to round this to 38. Second rule, we have to look at the first discarded digit. If it is greater than 5, what are we going to do? The last significant digit that we keep must be increased by 1. So we'll have to increase by 1 if the last digit that we discard is greater than 5. So let's look at this 38.6. We round that to the unit. So we have a 6 that is greater than 5. We'll have to write down 39 like this. So this is the easiest rule. It's for numbers that are discarded that are greater than 5 or less than 5. When we have precisely 5, there is a special rule. So I'm going to erase that and show you the special rule. But first, a few examples really quickly. Let me show you. Oh no, I'm going to skip those. You can do them by yourself. It's super easy for you guys. So I'm going to go to those two rules. So if the first discarded digit is 5, followed by at least one non-zero digit, we use the rule for numbers greater than 5. So we must increase by 1 the last sig fig. If the first discarded digit is 5, followed only by 0 digits, that's where it's a little bit trickier. The last significant digit that is kept remains unchanged if it's even, and increased by 1 if it's odd. And this is very, very weird because we're not used to have that rule, but we use it in more technical fields because we do not want our rounding to introduce a bias in our calculations. So if we have, let's say, 38.5 and we wish to round that to the unit, we will have to round that to 38. And why is that? It's because we are in between 38, precisely in between 38 and 39. So it's as if we can choose between the two of them because we're right in between, we're right here. So if we choose 38, we'll have an error of 0.5. And if we choose 39, it's going to be also an error of 0.5. But we prefer even numbers. So we're going to choose 38 instead of 39. But be careful because if we have 38.50001, we're not right in between. We have no choice but to round that to 39. That special rule here is only when we have 5 precisely. So let's look at the examples. We have 264.5, and we wish to round that to 3 sig figs. So it's going to be 264 that we keep, and then we're going to look at that 5. It's the special rule. We're precisely in between. When we're precisely in between, we prefer even number, so we're going to keep 264 as our result. For this one, we're going to keep 3 sig figs. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the first discarded number is going to be a 5. So we have to use a special rule, but we're not precisely in between. So what are we going to do? We're going to have to round that 2 up, even though it's an even number, because we cannot choose. We're not precisely in the middle. So we'll have to write down 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we have to round up the 2. We have no choice. And finally, for this one, we wish to round that to 2 sig figs. So we keep 2 and 3, and then we're looking at this 5. It's followed only by zeros, so we are precisely in between. We have to round that up to 4 to get an even number. So it's going to be 24. So that's it for rounding numbers. See you soon.